Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Business Communications at Ozarka College. Today what I thought I'd do is give you just a little bit of feedback on the Chapter 8 assignment and the Project 1 activity that was due late last week, and I finished grading all those earlier this week. So most of you did well on the assignment and the project both. Most of you really put in the time and effort, and I really appreciate that. So keep up the good work on that. There were a few of you that had a couple of errors, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But overall, most of you did well. If you haven't already looked at your grades for those activities, go ahead and do that as soon as you can, especially the project. Make sure that you read the grading comments and let me know if you have any questions at all. If I did have to count any points off, I was very specific on why and kind of what I was looking for on that. So just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. As far as the project goes, there were a few of you that had some minor formatting errors. It showed you in your book and also in the video that I linked the proper formatting for a business letter. So if you didn't format it correctly, if you had improper spacing between parts of the letter, or if you had, especially if you were missing parts of the letter, components of the letter, I counted some points off for that. The biggest way that you could have prevented the formatting issues was if you used the letter template that I provided. If you remember, I actually linked a letter template that you could have used for the letter, and that would have already had all the formatting done for you pretty much, and then you're just putting in the information into the fields of the letter. So just kind of keep that in mind. Normally when you do a letter, a business letter like this, it's best to use a template because it already has a lot of the formatting done for you, and then all you're doing is just putting your personal information into the letter, into the parts of the template. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, just let me know. The only other thing I noticed on a couple of the projects that some of you submitted is some grammar and punctuation errors. Some of the wording and some of the punctuation and grammar could have been improved quite a bit for some of you, and so I didn't count a huge number of points off for that because that wasn't the main purpose of this particular assignment. But obviously when you're doing any kind of business communication, whether it's a letter or any other type of communication, you want to make sure you're using proper grammar and spelling and punctuation. And the best way to prevent those types of errors in your letters is to use the grammar checker and spelling checker that's built into Word. And then there are also others that you can use that are online that may be better. And of course, it's also good to proofread your document before you submit it. Carefully read it. You might even want to have somebody else read it as well, that can kind of give you pointers on the proper wording to use and the proper grammar and spelling and so forth. Sometimes when we write business communications, sometimes we're not able to see our own mistakes, but other people who may be reading it may notice that and be able to give us that information that we can then use to improve that communication. So those are just some pointers there for that first project. But like I said, overall, most of you did well. Most of you really put the time and effort in, so I really appreciate that. So if you have questions about that, just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have about the project. All right, the midterm exam. That closed last night. Most of you did well on that. I looked at the grades this morning. Most of you did well. So just like I always tell you, keep up the good work on that. Most of you really did well. You spent the needed time on the exam to answer the questions correctly. Now, I have opened up the midterm exam for review purposes. So it'll be open up for review from now until the end of the semester. So what that will give you the opportunity to do is to go back and review those questions that you missed and study those concepts for the final exam. Okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Let me know if you have any questions about the midterm exam. All right, so that brings us to what we've got coming up due for our next set of activities. So if we go to the activities page in my Ozarka, right now we're on week 8 of the semester, kind of on the last part of that week. All right, we don't have anything else due this week, and we actually don't have work due next week, but we do have work due early the following week. So you've got just about a little over a week, basically, to be working on chapters 13 and 14. And you'll notice that we're kind of going out of order a little bit on the chapters, the way that they're ordered in the textbook and the way that I've got them ordered, that we're, the order that we're covering them on the activities page in my Ozarka. So we just finished chapter 8 and we took the midterm exam, and now under week 10 we're doing chapters 13 and 14. Let me explain why I'm doing that, kind of going out of order a little bit. Chapters 13 and 14 deal with communication for employment. So you're going to be learning about things like how to create a resume, how to create a cover letter, how to interview for a job. And since there are going to be basically 3 projects that correspond with that communication for employment, I wanted to go ahead and have you go through those chapters and learn the concepts so that you're prepared for, so that you have more time basically to prepare and complete the projects that pertain to chapters 13 and 14. Okay? So you may be wondering why we're doing things out of order a little bit, and that's why. Because I want to give you more time to work on those projects that deal with communication for employment. Okay? So the chapters 13 and 14 assignment and test are both due by Monday, October 21st. Okay? So a week from Monday. And just remember that all the resources that you have available for you on the assignment, you've got your PowerPoint slides here, you've got the videos that explain the concepts that are covered in those chapters, okay? So, again, all that stuff is due Monday, October 21st. You got the assignment and the test. And then you'll notice under week 12 is where you've got the resume and the application letter projects. I want you to go ahead, as you're working on chapters 13 and 14, I want you to go ahead and open up the Project 2, Part 1 and Part 2, which is the resume and the application letter. Go ahead and read through those instructions for those projects so that you can go ahead and get started on those projects and give yourself plenty of time to get those completed, because they will be due here in just a few weeks. Okay? So be working on those, and let me know if you have questions as you're working on them. All right? And let's see. Let me go back just for a minute. Chapter 13 specifically covers the preparation of resumes and application letters. So you're going to learn about the various types of resumes, the parts of a resume, and how to prepare a resume either for print or electronic distribution. Okay, there are some companies that only accept resumes through electronic means today, but then there are others that allow you to send it through the mail as well, through print form. And so it's important to know how to do both of those. And then Chapter 14 covers the interviewing process for a job. So you're going to be learning how to, you're going to learn about the types of employment interviews, the ways to prepare for an interview, how to conduct a successful interview, and how to prepare various employment messages, such as application forms, follow-up messages, thank you messages, things like that. All right? So that's chapters 13 and 14. So be working on those chapters. And again, go ahead and at least start looking at Project 2, the resume and application letter, so that you're prepared in a couple weeks when we start working more heavily on those. Okay? And that's the only other thing I've got for you today is I have posted the midterm grades for this class. Since we had our midterm exam due last night, I went ahead and just checked all the grades that we've had during the course of the semester, and I went ahead and posted midterm grades earlier today. So go ahead and look at your midterm grade as soon as you can, and let me know if you have any questions at all. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And that's really all I have for you for today. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy next week, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you.